puppy. What I saw last month is different from what I'm seeing now. The puppy is developing some futures of wild animals. It had this prophetic word is not to the negative. It's very important. Take the Biafra agitation serious. Dialogue now. Because I see a time, doors are knocked, calls are made. People who are heavy are saying we have come down, but these people are not willing to dialogue again. Please, redeem the time, for the days are evil. Dialogue now. Dialogue now. I repeat it again. I'm not an evil man, but I'm telling you what I'm showing in the spirit. War. I'm seeing great people, important people in this nation coming together and saying, now, okay, we want to sit on the table, let us talk. But people you want to talk with are saying, it's too late. Please, dialogue now. The days ahead are evil. Dialogue now. This is not a cry of a baby. It's a cry of an adult.
I'm coming on, eh?
Dialogue now. The Bible said, blessed are the peacemaker, for they shall be called the children of God. Please, every authority, there come a time when the revolution is about to take place. The power of God, bomb and bullet cannot hold an ideology. Please, dialogue now. This is not the time of I have bullet, I have gun, I have bomb. This has nothing to do with bullet and bomb. If you know what I'm seeing in the realm of the spirit, everyone in federal authority should take the Biafra agitation serious. If you are once a founding father of this nation, sit down around the table and listen to your children. Dialogue. This is not the time to arrest anybody. It's the time to hear the cry of the people. Dialogue now. Because he's going to be the last resultant solution at the end. But when you are asking, when the king comes down from his throne and he's saying, I'm ready to talk, and everybody is throwing stone at you, then you will know that it is important to dialogue with honor and prestige and go out and there is peace in the land.
How do you cage Nnamdi Kanu? In fact, I want to call that Nnamdi Kanu should be released. A freedom fight agitator who said that, look, he wants liberation for his people. Why are you incarcerating him? Why are you not going to arrest Fulani men? Look at the bomb blast in train blast in Abuja to Kaduna. Up to today, our people are still being kept by these bandits. Where are the security? Where is the president? Where is the security act to go out and rescue these people? Tell me what is happening. It is a shame. Tell me, Igboho, they went after him in the southwest and were able to stop him. At least we're not hearing about Igboho again. Why can't they stop these Fulani men who are terrorizing this country and have made it impossible? They come to Benue and kill, just in my local government, within the space of 40 people have been killed. More than 40 people. In another local government, over 20 people were killed. And then you want me to keep quiet. They want to intimidate us. I will never be intimidated. At least, let me talk. If at the end nothing happens, and some of you are keeping quiet, keep quiet to your shame. But I want to say that the rest of Nigerians, you people are joking. I raised alarm in 2016 that these things were going to happen. What is it that I have not said? I have said it. If Nigerians want to get out of this, they should arise. Arise television, as your name implies. Arise and let us liberate ourselves. President Buhari and his cohorts are not able to do it.
Nigeria, I believe what you are about to see in Nigeria is a whirlwind who is going to start to discredit your political system. Within the next 10 months, the Lord says that your political leaders will be exposed and discredited. And the Lord says He will discredit their morality, their integrity. He will discredit their financial dealings. He will discredit their lifestyle choices. And he says, watch as I bring a sustained humiliation to the system of leadership within this nation. And the Lord says, I will agitate and convulse and shake and show my power, for I am going to bring a chaos war where I whirlwind them out of their seats. But the Lord said, you have 10 months. Because the Lord says, if I come with a discrediting Nahum chapter 1 whirlwind, you must have dealt with Leviathan, or Leviathan will retake back the leadership of Nigeria. But you know it is 7 times worse at that point.
It is not enough. It is not enough that we are complaining that the economy of the Igbo land is collapsing because of sit at home. Hello? You may not know the impact of this sit at home issue. It is so painful to any business person. But for people who have businesses, so we have to lift our hands, because the secret of that sit at home is the releasing of Nnamdi Kanu. If Nnamdi is free today, sit at home will stop today. So lift your hand. We pray for prisoners. And one of us is in prison. And because of his importance, even the government could not stop sit at home. I say, go to work, go to work. Yet they are in their houses. And if they are about to move, they will use about 20 security vehicles around themselves. So we shall lift our hands to pray. For over 3 years now, this is the year Igbo people have farmed. Listen. For over 3 years now, this is the best year Igbo people had farmed. We are thanking our young men who helped to clear the farms from herdsmen disturbances. God will bless you. You may not know what it means. In Abogugu last time, one farmer was killed and the whole body of the butcher brought between the body packed there. Now, by the grace of God, are freed from herdsmen destruction. One of our priests last year all his farms were just messed up. He was crying. This year, he started laughing. So I am thanking our young men. I am blessing the Igbo youths. It shall be well with you. Amen. Ono mata oborobo. Odiko obosoko. So anyị wenere Chukwu aka enu. Taa Good Friday mbosi nwere onwe. Ise anyị. Anyị na-ekpe ekpere maka nwere onwe nke nwanne anyị Nnamdi. O nwere onwe tata sita chọ ma kwụsara. O nwere onye kwutere na okwu batara ya na mba. Mụ abụ onye izi bịabụrụ ịbịa ka mba. Simon Ekpa wee pịa m ya. Pịa m ya sị na a ga-apịa ba mana gọta. N'ọkwa ugwu ka a na-akwanyere m mmechikwa ọnụ zere ha na sit-at home. I went home and meditated on that. It's painful. But it is now a responsibility upon us to pray out that our brother. So I went to Chukwu aka enu n'isi ya. Ebe ọ bụ na ọ nọ ya mara na ụmụnne ya wenere ya aka enu. Ọkwa nsọ nụrụ ude nwa na-agba n'ọsọ. Onye nụrụ ude nwa na-agba n'ọsọ. Onye nụrụ ude nwa na-agba n'ọsọ. Ị nụrụ ude nwa na-agba n'ọsọ. Onye nụrụ ude nwa na-agba n'ọsọ. Onye nụrụ ude nwa na-agba n'ọsọ. Asị m nụrụ ude nwa na-agba n'ọsọ. Onye nụrụ ude nwa na.
Nigeria, on a daily basis, witness the impunity which is so-called Fulani herdsmen extremists who shared ethnic and religious identity with President Buhari and the Fulani elite, which now dominates all key institutions in Nigeria.
To open an investigation specifically into the wide-scale and systematic killing of the civilian population, and most notably targeting the indigenous people of Biafra.
Clear that now we've put the Biafran issue on the radar screen of the government, of the Biden administration, of Congress.
Ongoing and wide-scale systematic killing of the civilian population, and again specifically targeting the IPOB.
Of weapons being used against Biafrans, but affirmatively supporting an effort to have a independence referendum organized and conducted by the United Nations, as we've done in South Sudan.
They formally open an investigation and look into what we are identifying as a genocide that's being committed by the Nigerian government and extremist Fulanis against the indigenous people of Biafra.
There's been nothing in experience since 1960 to suggest there simply is not a way, given the history of division between the Fulani and the Biafrans, to think that they can coexist under a single sovereign roof.
You must go and listen to Simon Ekpa, who is doing a very fantastic job. Very great job that Simon Ekpa is doing. Very, absolutely fantastic job that he's doing. You must listen to him and share his videos accordingly. Very, very important. He is bringing a new dimension to this very awareness that we are making, and you must listen to him. Very, very important.
Land of the rising. Father, I'm going to ask you again. I'm going to ask you all for the very first time. How do we bring back to the mainstream those who have now been pushed to the fringes, talking about and believing and espousing the belief that Nigeria truly should be one?
We need to begin by resolving a conceptual crisis. What do I mean by a conceptual crisis? Quite often when we speak about Nigeria, we collapse the distinction between country, state, and nation. We tend to think that the three mean the same. We tend to think the three are synonyms. A country is a territory. From the Latin contra terra, the land that lies ahead of you. A country is a territory. It is not necessarily a nation. A nation is an association of peoples. And I use that word in the plural deliberately because of diversity. A nation is an association of peoples who identify their shared core values. And on the basis of their shared core values, they give themselves a constitution which will now establish institutions that make up the state. What we have in Nigeria and in most African countries is a confusion where we think the nation is the state. The nation is reduced to the state. We have a country quite all right by the fact that we live within a territory, even if that territory is not secure, as we all know. But we don't have a nation. We have institutions that make up the state. We collapse the nation into the state. If you look at our constitution, section 2 of the current constitution, and you don't find this in the 1963 constitution, it ascribes sovereignty not to the people but to the state. That is dangerous. That means the state has the last say on any question. That means the state is more powerful than the citizen. That is a recipe for impunity. Because as we all know, the state is the head of state, or the governor, or whoever represents them. Whatever they say, we all have to comply, whether they're right or wrong. So we don't have a democracy in the true sense of the word.
Oh my God.
Until we have that, until we can't even talk of unfinished greatness. And I have to make a critique of the title of Governor Fayeme's book. It presupposes that there is a project that is unfinished. I am saying we have not even started the project.
Oh my God.
And we need to stop deluding ourselves. What are our shared core values? What are the things that bring us together apart from the super egos? You know, when I had this experience, 2013, I was visiting a place called Do in Plateau State. The Plateau State governor is here. I got to Do the Friday before the Nations Cup final between Nigeria and Burkina Faso. And there was tension everywhere. But on Sunday night, when Nigeria won the game, the final match, the tension dissipated. And most people forget the fact that a young man from southeastern Nigeria
Influence to become mainstream. So, Father, I'm going to ask you again. I'm going to ask you all for the very first time. How do we...
Plateau State governor is here. I got to Do the Friday before the Nations Cup final between Nigeria and Burkina Faso. And there was tension everywhere. But on Sunday night, when Nigeria won the game, the final match, the tension dissipated. And most people forget the fact that a young man from southeastern Nigeria received the ball from a young man from Pankshin who had to leave Nigeria because his parents were killed. Victor Moses passed the ball to Sunday Mbas got the goal. And we didn't even ask about the local government of origin of the scorer of the goal. So what are our shared core values? If you ask the Americans, they talk of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We don't have one. And it is when we begin to identify our shared core values that we begin to build a nation. What we have right now is a state held together at gunpoint. And when the state...
Nigeria, on a daily basis, witness the impunity which is so-called Fulani herdsmen extremists who share an ethnic and religious identity with President Buhari and the Fulani elite, who now dominates all key institutions in Nigeria.
To open an investigation specifically into the wide-scale and systematic killing of the civilian population, and most notably targeting the indigenous people of Biafra.
Clear that now we put the Biafran issue on the radar screen of the government, of the Biden administration, of Congress.
Ongoing and wide-scale systematic killing of the civilian population, and again specifically targeting the Ipob.
Of weapons being used against Biafrans, but affirmatively supporting an effort to have a independence referendum organized and conducted by the United Nations, as we've done in South Sudan.
Formally open an investigation and look into what we are identifying as a genocide that's being committed by the Nigerian government and extremist Fulanis against the indigenous people of Biafra.
There's been nothing in experience since 1960 to suggest there simply is not a way, given the history of division between the Fulani and the Biafrans, to think that they can coexist under a single sovereign roof.
Good evening, good morning, fellow BIAFRANS. I have come this evening with great sadness in my heart to communicate very important message to you, Biafra people, and the lovers of freedom, and those friends of Biafrans around the world. Dear friends, dear Biafrans, dear families, IPOB families around the world, and those who are with us today in this liberation phase of Biafra. We need to pay respect to those who were dear to us, that lost their lives, and those that were very dear to us that lost their properties, and those that were dear to us
to become mainstream.
that
So, Father, I want to ask you again.
lost
I want to
their businesses,
ask you,
and those that were dear to us that have just lost their means of livelihood in Imo State yesterday, being the 17th day of September 2022, by the repentant Boko Haram that has been recruited to the Nigerian army, both on the ground and the air bombardment. Fellow Biafrans, there is a mural in the Olo town of Imo State, where many people many Biafrans and non-Biafrans lost their life in the Nigeria Army terror attack yesterday. We are yet to know the names of yesterday's victim of the Nigeria Army attack. We have seen different images coming out from Olu. We are working very hard to get exact number of persons and their details who have lost their life in the Nigeria Caliphate and jihadist government attack in quest to quench Biafra from coming in 2023. Fellow Biafrans, today we are all mourning all the victims of this terrorism in Biafra land, both those killed by the state actors and those killed by non-state actors. Each of their life was different in their different ways. Each of their lives were unique in their own ways. They came from different places, from different background, yet all of them suffered the same absurd fate from the government that claim to have sworn some stupid oath to protect the life of those who found themselves in Nigeria, irrespective of their political differences. Like hundreds of others in the street of Olo, Ihiala, and the other part of Biafra and environ, those who have lost their properties and their businesses at the Ahia Ototo market in Imo State, those who have lost their businesses to the coordinated fire and attack in Onitsha market, those Biafrans who have been subjugated to all manner of attack all over Nigeria, those who have suffered bomb explosion in Ablado in Lagos State, those who have lost their businesses in Kano State, those who have lost their market, properties in other parts of Nigeria as a result of coming from the eastern Nigeria and becoming a Biafran. The list can go on and on and on. We are here with you today to tell you that you are not alone. Today, we remember each of you. We remember each of those who have paid with their life for just finding themselves in Nigeria, for becoming the victim of the latest genocide going on in Nigeria. Today, we remember each of them. But remembrance must lead to action every day. After every attack against our people in Biafra land by the Nigeria state, by the terrorists in uniform, by the army, and all of them, we will all try to go back to our normal lives. Yet, for the victims, for their families, for the survivors. That is just impossible. It is impossible to go back to normal life after seeing what the Nigeria state have done to people of Biafra in Imo State, being orchestrated by a man called Hope Uzodinma, who is the governor. The identity and the origin may not be known as a result of his actions. It remains questionable whether Hope Uzodinma is a Biafran or not, or whether Hope Uzodinma is from Igbo extraction or not. This particular question will be answered in due time, because Hope Uzodinma actions have crossed the red line of no forgiveness. And we are going to make sure that he pays dearly for the crimes against humanity and for the crimes committed against his own people and against Biafra at large. This is the reason, and that is why we must all stand in solidarity with them, those who have been affected by this impunity and the atrocities of the Nigeria state under the watch of Hope Uzodinma. We must stand in solidarity with them and support their needs, while we continue to work to ensure that these tragedies do not happen again without retaliation. We must make sure that this attack in Imo State yesterday will not happen again without retaliation. We know that the reason why this attack happened, and more of it may come different ways, is because they have seen the momentum Biafra agitation have gathered, and they have seen that there are possibilities that Biafra will come next year. They have seen the possibility that Nigeria will disintegrate in 2023. They have seen how serious we are, and they know that we can actually achieve that, because we know that they know that we have come to understand the loopholes, how to disintegrate Nigeria. Having discovered these particular loopholes, how Nigeria will be destroyed and disintegrated, they are coming out very hard on our people. And like I said, first and foremost, we must stand by the survivors and their families. Those who have lived with the scars of Nigeria Fulani Terrorist Act, they need special support. That is why we are working very hard to liberate Biafra by 2023. So we do not need to be afraid of being attacked whenever we rise up to ask questions to those who have been elected or those who out of corruption and bribery are sent to power. In Biafra, you will not be scared for asking questions. And that is exactly the same thing we have tried to eradicate in the movement for the restoration of Biafra, which is the ability for people to ask questions when they feel confused, or when they feel that things are not, they don't understand what is going on. That is exactly what the autopilot under Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, of which I am the spokesperson, have tried to make sure we put culpability where culpability is. That is why we must work very hard to liberate Biafra by 2023, so that Biafra can help them and rebuild their lives. We must rebuild the lives of everybody that the Nigeria government have destroyed their businesses and their lives. Immediately Biafra is restored next year. It is going to be the first thing the Biafra government will do, is to give life to those who have suffered very grave injustice, attack, and have had a serious scars of the Nigeria in them. Biafra will give them support, facilitate compensation when possible. And Biafra will help them to get back to our life as soon as Biafra is liberated by 2023. I want to secondly say the freedom of Biafra will heal the wound of slavery and bring lasting peace to Africa. Biafra liberation will bring to an end to poverty and hunger. Poverty and hunger can be fought through inclusion and education, and only in Biafra will this be possible. This is the reason Biafra must be preached to our children, young ones, and to our business places. This must be done every day in our communities, in our schools, and in our public places and public debate. On this note, we are going to have a 1-minute silent in respect and honor to those who have died, even when they know nothing about the activities of the Eastern Security Network. We are going to give 1-minute silent to Biafrans who has fallen in Lagos bomb attack, those who have fallen in terrorist attack in the church in Oduduwa land, those who have been lynched in the north, those who have been killed in Kaduna State, in other part of the Middle Belt, and those who have died for just being a Nigerian. We are going to observe 1-minute silent for them. May their soul continue to rest on, and they will all be remembered when Biafra has been restored as a nation. We want to give our thanks and respect to the men of the Eastern Security Network who have always stood their ground to teach the terrorist Nigeria a lesson. We will continue to thank them, and they will continue to be in our prayers. Those who have volunteered to fight for the freedom of Biafra. The commanders of the Eastern Security Network, our respect goes to all of you. Those men on ground, who stood and fought like men, our respect goes to you. The story of how they are collecting it will not be announced by us. The code remain water, and they will continue to come to the open to show how we have dealt with them. We will continue to deal with them until they will come no more. Thirdly, and a very crucial one, every person in our Biafra provinces that has the right to do something must now rise up to the challenge that we are facing. Everyone in our Biafra provinces has the right to feel safe in their street and in their homes. And this requires cooperation within every agitating group. The auto-piloted IPOB have been able to achieve. The reason why we have been able to build the relationship and alliances within the Biafra agitating group and those with arms and all that is to make sure that you feel safe in your street and in your homes. We have been able to achieve that. Today, the insecurity is coming from the Nigeria state-sponsored terrorists, both those who pretend to be wearing Nigeria Army uniform and those who pretend to be wearing the DSS uniform. It is no longer coming from those they perceive as criminals. And this requires cooperation within agitating groups. We have done that. We need to work together to tackle Nigeria terrorist network across our state, to deny them access to intels about the activities of the Biafra agitating group and the liberation forces. The intels against our security network. This must be achieved by joining forces. We can maintain our community as an area of freedom and security. Those you see creating one or another security outfit today are those who Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said will be paid to try to destroy the Biafra restoration, but they will all fail. We want to make it very clear that the commanders of the Eastern Security Network have dealt with these terrorists attacking our people. And they have worked very hard, incessantly, to make our communities and our farmland safer. Those of you in Biafra land who couldn't go to the farm 3 years ago, you understand that today it is no longer the same. Those of you who could not go to your farmland, you couldn't go to the stream, you couldn't go to, to do anything in the forest. Today, you can go to the forest without nobody butchering you with machete. I believe you understand this better than anyone else. The time to fight Nigeria Fulani and the repentant Boko Haram in Nigeria Army terrorizing our people is now. The army terrorism, fighting them shouldn't be after the attack or aftermath of an attack. I repeat, as it stands today, The time to fight the Fulani terrorists and the repentant Boko Haram in Nigeria army is not in the aftermath of an attack. The attack and the retaliation should be every day. And every day we will continue to fight them. At the same time, we fight for the Biafra liberation. I want you to understand that the reason why you see the bombardment in Imo State is to provoke us into quick retaliation, is to provoke us into coming out without having finished the planning of how Biafra will be restored next year. They want to rush us into coming out, I wouldn't say unprepared, because we are prepared. But there is something that needed to be done before anything complete guerrilla welfare will be activated. And they are trying to provoke us into coming out. They know that the Ahia Ototo market is not a place where any security outfit is being camped. They know that our communities are not the place where our security are being camped. But the reason for bombardment of our communities is for the economic jihad. They do it in the north, they do it in the middle belt, whenever they want to help the Fulani to capture a particular place. They first of all attack the community from the air. I want to inform you, Biafrans, today that very soon, just very, very soon, we are going to have a non-fly zone Biafra airspace. This may sound very funny. It may sound very unreal. It may sound like a joke, but you will all be alive to see the enforcement of a no-fly zone in Biafra airspace very soon. I know that those who have been fighting for Biafra for over 10 years, it will be hard for them to believe. They were never pure in their fight for Biafra. And all these years of your financial contribution, they have achieved nothing. There is no air defense system from them. But I'm telling you today that we will shock you. We will shock you beyond your expectation. In no distance time, we will declare a no-fly zone in entire Biafra airspace. They can continue to bombard our communities, our market, our houses, and everything. Tell Biafrans today to stay very strong. We are almost at the end of the road. And everybody who have endured this particular time we are will have every reason to enjoy what Biafra have to offer, especially the freedom. The time to fight them has come, and we are fighting them. And they know that we are fighting them. Only them and us knows what is going on. A lot of things are happening that many of you do not know. And we do not need to come and start telling you, but they know what I'm talking about. They are going to this State of the Nation broadcast today, and they know exactly what I'm talking about. We are not moved by this bombardment. Our only concern is to give encouragement and help those who have become victims of the Nigeria jihadist government. we also take a solemn vow to eradicate these terrorists completely, both those in uniform and those of the non-state actors in Biafra land, and build a Biafra that is freer and more secure. And this is going to be happening just very soon. I want to maintain that the checking point in Biafra land, we have announced it. We maintain there will be no checkpoint going forward in Biafra land. That is not to say that you are not going to see them tomorrow. That is not to say you are not going to see them next week. You're going to see them. But we have officially banned the checkpoint in Biafra land. Anywhere in Biafra land, you see checkpoints from tonight, to just maintain and continue to show our readiness. Every checkpoint in Biafra land from tonight is hereby banned. Now, the attack yesterday has shown the fear they have over Biafra coming in 2023. They simply want us to come out. They simply want us to retaliate immediately. And let me make it very clear to Biafrans today, we will definitely retaliate the attack of yesterday. I want to make it clear, Biafra people are going to retaliate the attack of yesterday. But believe me, patience is the best answer for now. This attack will help us to build a very strong case we have against Nigeria. The attack of yesterday will contribute in the case that we are presenting to the world against Nigeria state. We therefore ask everyone, every Biafran on social media, to go to Twitter. Not that we are looking for anything to happen through the Twitter. Not that we are expecting anything to come from the Twitter. But let us continue to call out the United Nations with at least over 10,000 tweet and retweet between now and tomorrow. Between now and the end of tomorrow evening. So I call every Biafrans this evening to go to Twitter, post the video of the attack in Imo State, and tag the United Nations. Like I said, we are not expecting them to do anything. But we have a reason why we want you to go to Twitter and let us have at least 10,000 to 20,000 retweets of the attack in Imo State between now and tomorrow. We have our reason for that. If you are fighting for Biafra and you are on Twitter, personally, I have over 50,000 followers on Twitter. After this State of the Nation address, I am going to post the video. We are expecting everyone in Twitter or on Twitter fighting for Biafra or those lovers of Biafra to retweet and tweet until we get up to 10,000 retweets, calling the attention of the United Nations over the bombardment of Imo State yesterday. For the very last one, before I leave, I want to assure Biafrans we are going to retaliate the attack against us yesterday. At the same time, we are patient. from here. May God bless you. Long live Biafra. Long live Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Long live our great Ikemba Nnewi. Long live his soul. Continue to rest. Live those who have reincarnated, those who have died for Biafra and have reincarnated. Long live your spirit, and may long live those who are still waiting before something will happen before they join us. May God bless you.